Welcome to the Fantasy Goons podcast, part of the Pucks Out family. It's time to skip the book and find out the info you need to win your league with Bobby, Davey, and Brandon.
Welcome into the Fantasy Goons. I'm Bobby, he's Davey, he's Brandon.
Hey-o.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's get you the info you need to be a champ. How are you guys this week?
Wonderful. It's fantasy playoff time. This is fun for me this upcoming month.
Playoff time. I'm hoping that all the people that have stuck with us all year and have been listening all year, I hope this episode means something to you.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you got to the second week of the playoffs, or you're starting your playoffs. Super excited for playoff fantasy hockey, which means right around the corner, boys. Best professional tournament in the world.
Agree.
Stanley Cup playoffs, there's it's hard to beat it. I mean, it's no tournament wise, no March Madness, but we can agree that I think it's probably overall
hardest trophy to win in sports.
Agreed. Yeah, it is.
Overall best playoffs in sports. Agreed with you fellas.
100%. How did you guys do this season?
Good. I did good. First place in 2 of the 4 leagues, second in 1, and I'm battling a playoff spot in the other right now. So pretty good. Good.
I made it into the playoffs in all my leagues. I actually had a league whose championship week was last week. I was in it. I fell. Injuries just destroyed me. Connor McDavid went off. The other guy had Connor McDavid. Shout out to I was the it's a Game of Thrones inspired league. I was the Baratheon Boars. I fell down to the Barristan Brawlers. He was first place. I was second place in the league, and he had a great showing.
We had a battle in our points league this past week, and I came out victorious, and so we flipped spots, and now we play each other again first week of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So good to see you again. But now your boy's the top seed. Okay,
You got first?
No, fourth. I got four. I was fifth, and he was fourth. And then I beat him in the last week of the regular season. We flipped spots. Now we get to play again in the playoffs. I
was second in that league, so I finished second in that
league.
Okay.
Is this the high score keeper league?
Oh no, this is a different league that we're just in together.
I was gonna.
We actually play each other. We actually have 2 battles this week.
Was this in high score keeper league?
FHL.
Oh, FHL. I'm struggling on that one.
The Eden Hall Ducks have had him a good little season. So the Renes of Castamere are done for.
I mean, we both had I'm looking at both had a really good season.
We had good season.
Yeah.
I think both of us were one of the top 2 playoff teams, like points against. So I think that we both ended up like 13 and 10, or I think
I made some moves today, and I saw right after I made some moves, you got on and made some moves.
Yeah.
I think 2 of my leagues I was in first place. The one league the high score league, I absolutely dominated in. I went 21-2. I think that's the league I'm playing you. Stay in your lineup. Yeah,
we're playing each other there. I just slipped in the playoffs there. I'm currently beating you by 30 points, but long week ahead of us for sure.
Peck of the litter. I pulled ahead
secured that bye.
Yeah.
Secured that first round bye.
Accept it.
I've got Sasa.
I don't know who I'm playing. The Elliott Snowball team. I guess Elliott.
Elliott. Yeah. So super excited to be here. Let's get some championship. Let me get some championships. You fellas,
I do want to say one thing too. Is the only app that I'm in 3 leagues. I'm in the playoffs, right? In the 4th league, I'm not in the playoffs. Well, I'm battling this week for one. Is the ESPN app. So there's something about that Yahoo app, guys, man. I'm telling you.
ESPN app is garbage.
Dude, that Yahoo app is. I keep telling him over here, like that's my excuse.
I need Sleeper to make it. NHL too.
Yahoo is amazing. I love Sleeper, but Yahoo's trophy case.
Yeah,
you can go in.
Yeah,
I know everything that you've won since 2000. Since you started, and I love that, and I hate that you can't transfer it because that's pretty important to me when it comes to. But
all right, let's jump straight. Let's jump straight into our pickups and start getting you ready for for your playoffs. My pickup, I got Matthew Joseph with the newly acquired by the Senators. Triple eligibility at the center and the wings. He's put the team on his back recently. He's got 3 goals, 4 assists in the last 2 games on April 1st and 3rd. 6% rostered. I got him in one league. He is, he's a young star there right now. He's a guy you can plug in. There's some, I got a couple guys on my that I went and dropped from IR to put some other guys in there, and so I made room for him in a couple leagues. Some leagues he didn't work out, but listen, in deep leagues, he might just get you over that hump if you need him. So I like him a lot. Bon, what do you got?
I have Jake DeBrusk, left wing, right wing, 29% owned. Playing on the Bruins there, has been, as far as just standard scoring points leagues over the last 14 days, is the 63rd player, in the rankings. Pasta in and out at the time. It's just a good move for me. I'm looking at the Bruins guys and trying to fill that Pasta void.
I like that a lot. Davey.
I'm going with Mason Marchman for Florida Panthers. He's left wing, right wing eligibility. He's got 15 goals, 25 assists, 92 hits. Second or third liner, typically he's getting second power play unit an opportunity right now. He hadn't been playing the whole year, but he's just the last couple weeks he's been on that second power play, and he's got 2 power play points there, so that's good. So I'm going with Florida Panthers. Great team this year. Mason Marchman, yeah. give him all the credit right now.
I got him in a couple leagues I picked up a month or 2 ago. He's been absolutely amazing for me in leagues.
All right, and we talked about this on the main show. Stanley Cup odds, just getting out of fantasy. Florida Panthers are sitting at plus 500.
Yeah,
you like it? Yeah, you don't like it? A little low, you willing to put the money on that? What are your feelings on it?
I'm not putting the money on them. I think there's so many better teams out there than the Florida Panthers, but I like where they sit right now, and I like what they've done. Sure. And I think that they're a team that I think can keep getting better. Absolutely. But I'm not going to bet the farm on them.
Yeah, that's kind of, I think, our consensus of where we landed in the main show as well.
Let's move over to our stream of the week. I'm streaming the Boston Bruins. They are fighting for playoff positioning right now. They got 4 games coming up week. I like them a lot.
Just to shout out my last week's pickup, Eric Halla is also still available. I didn't want to do the same guy twice in a row, but I
picked him up in 2 leagues.
But to Bobby's point right there, looking at him as well as DeBrusk.
Yeah, Davey. Who are you streaming this week?
Yeah, I'm streaming the Maple Leafs. They got 4 games with a little easier week. They got Buffalo, then there's Washington, Ottawa, and New York Islanders. So there's a tough game in there in Washington, and then Islanders actually picked up the pace a little bit, but for the most part, they're on a 5-game winning streak, so I think they're going to continue playing good hockey, and they're in a playoff spot. They're going to stay in a playoff spot. I think Toronto's a good team right now.
Yeah, I actually like that a lot. They, they've got about 3 weeks until they start losing a bunch when they enter the playoffs. So
ride them now.
Yeah, ride them now. Brandon, what do you got?
For my stream of the week, I have the Blues. Not that something that I love, but it is a team that's going to have a lot of available pieces. 4 games this week, a back-to-back right there at the end of Saturday and Sunday. A great opportunity to stream if you really need something. Don't forget our cardinal rule. If you ain't going to win the week, it don't matter who you have on your team.
Yeah.
Be willing to drop a guy that will help you next week, because it won't matter if you don't get to that next round. So love where the Blues are at, where they're sitting in that 3rd spot. They're battling pretty constantly right there with Dallas and right there with Nashville.
Yeah.
But Winnipeg not super far behind either. No. This is a team that needs to win, coupled with some guys that I think you can get some value out of this week.
Yeah. Moving over to tailing and fading, I'm tailing the Florida Panthers. They've locked up their playoff spot. They will be eyeing home ice advantage and the franchise's first President's Trophy. They have both them and the Leafs have 69 games played. Nice. Florida sitting at 102 points, Toronto at 95. So, I mean, if they want to keep that home ice advantage, I mean, they're going to have to keep the pressure up and keep playing well. I know that for some teams, they may not care about President's trophies, but first one in franchise history is a big deal.
Yeah, it's always nice to have.
And getting that home ice advantage, even though they are in sunshine and it probably doesn't mean as much as other teams, they still want it. So I think they're going to be pushing hard for that home ice advantage. So I like them a lot. They've got 4 games coming up. They got 3 of those at home. I think they keep steamrolling.
Yeah, I agree. I think I like the Florida Panthers too, and in that spot as well this week. I'm going with the Minnesota Wild. Just playing good hockey. They're a consistent team, sitting in second place in the Central right now. They've got 4 games this week: Edmonton, Dallas, St. Louis, San Jose. So there's some games there that I think that they will absolutely win. I don't know. I like this Wild team. They're fun to watch. There's a lot of young guys on there that are actually really great hockey players. I think I've tailed them so many times in the last few months, but
find a way to win. Team.
They always do. Yeah.
Love it. I'm gonna be. I wanted to speak on the Panthers. The biggest problem, obviously, this week. Yeah, tailing the Panthers. Biggest problem I'm gonna have with the Panthers is in a couple of weeks, are they still gonna be playing their guys? And so obviously, don't let that influence your decision now. But think about that. Coming
for sure. Yeah. I mean, again, and I was gonna speak on it before we end the show.
Right.
You got to drop player. I mean, if you're in your championship week and Connor McDavid only has 2 games that week, get 1 game out of him and drop him.
Yeah, absolutely. Make sure in a situation like that, though, make sure he is going to be waiver inappropriate for your
or not playing against you.
But for my tailing, I got the Preds. Again, I'm going with that team that's still hungry, that team that's still trying to fight for that spot or fight for their right to be there. 4 games this week. We, not having the greatest stretch that they've had in the season. But again, it comes back to a back-to-back at the end of the week, Saturday and Sunday. Again, hard to pass up a team that can, and especially a team like the Predators where there's going to be guys available. I mean, Tanner Jeannot is widely available in leagues.
Matt Duchene is only 85% rostered.
15% of leagues. I mean, you can get an $8 million a year player that's actually playing like one.
Yeah,
I mean, it's so there's
Tanner Jeannot, who's the leading rookies in goals, is 53% rostered.
53%.
He's the 23rd ranked player in one of my leagues. I mean,
there's some availability there that you can scrape up. And they have the Sharks, then they play the Oilers, and then they have a back-to-back against the Blackhawks and the Blues. Love it.
Another one, and this is a guy who I actually dropped him but he's the definition of a plug-and-play guys. Colton Citizens, 5% rostered.
Yeah, I've done it.
I mean, he's a great plug-and-play when you've got an injury. I mean, he's 189th ranked.
He's going to get you a few shots on goals. He's going to get you some hits. I mean,
I did it twice this year with Colton Citizens, actually, so I feel that.
That off chance of some power play points that can come your way if something happens. I mean, it's a guy that can instantly be plugged in on first line with an injury. I mean, so keeping that in mind, really good call, Bob.
Yeah. But yeah, so, and I was going to leave off, now we're going to move into fading the Ducks. Oh, no, sorry, that's you.
Yeah, that's me. I had the Ducks. Only 3 games this week, kind of banged up. A team that was pretty strong starting off. We were wondering if they were going to make an actual playoff push. It seems like that's kind of faded, and they fell by the wayside. They are just not the team that we were watching in the beginning. So I'm fading them come playoff time. And some guys that have got me through: Troy Terry, Getzlaff. I mean, they've been there and got me through.
Yeah,
I ain't gonna let that cloud my judgment today.
I dropped Ryan Getzlaff this morning in some leagues. He's announced his retirement. He's out for a couple days. I think that they might play him on maybe their last home game, but I think they're just about done. I'm ready to retire some Ducks players from my team for the remainder of the season.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I'm going with the Canucks, not only because they have the obvious 2 games this week against Vegas and Arizona, but they're actually sitting in 5th in the wild card race right now, and their last 10, they're 3-4-3. Everyone above them is 6-4-0, 7-3-0, 7-3-0, 6-4-0. I mean, Vancouver doesn't have what it takes. I mean, everyone ahead of them is playing good hockey right now. Winnipeg, Dallas, Vegas, Nashville. Doesn't look good for me. It doesn't look good for Vancouver right now, so I'm going to have to fade them.
Yeah. I'm fading the Jets. Honestly, you kind of mentioned that they're playing decent. The eye test is poor on them. They've been playing mediocre, below average. I think that it feels like watching them, it almost feels like they've given up on the playoffs. It feels like they have just accepted their fate. Maybe they can sneak into a wild card spot. I highly doubt it. They just don't have the show
gumption.
The gumption. Yeah, that's a good word. They don't have the gumption this year, and there's something missing from that team. They've got 3 games, 2 on the road, and I just don't think they're going to put the numbers up to be worth plugging any of their players.
They're playing now to me like Dallas was playing early.
Yeah.
They've kind of flipped roles to where Dallas is that team that you're worried about kind of sneaking up on you.
And Dallas and Nashville have games in hand on them, so that's going to help them. I think Winnipeg, I think you're right. I think they're slipping out of the picture here a little bit.
To be honest, this morning I was looking for replacements for Connor Halibuck. I couldn't really find any. I replaced him in one league with
it's playoff time. You're not finding replacement goalies. That's why we don't talk about goalies.
I did in 2 leagues. I had Connor Halibuck in 2 leagues, and in those 2 leagues I dropped him in one, but in one I was able to get I can't remember his name now.
Sounds like a great ad, man.
The new goaltender who replaced Jordan Bennington, the Blues goalie, who's actually playing very well and is pretty much taking that starter job, which I called beginning of the season. I said that Bennington would lose that starting job because he sucks.
Yeah, but you just say a bunch of stuff about the Blues and
eventually it'll
happen. Like 2% of it sticks to the wall, and you're like, called it.
Well,
Nostradamus over here.
I'm in a similar
the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Right. Not necessarily a similar situation I'm in, but kind of. I've got Heiskanen, who just came back from injury, who did, I don't know if you saw that stat sheet, he went 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0 on every stat, like literally every stat, and he was out there for like 20 minutes.
Besides the fact
he didn't even get a hit, he didn't even get a shot, he didn't even get nothing. 0, 0, 0. So I left him on my IR that day because you can, and I have Morrissey there in his place. And Morrissey's playing good hockey right now. And so I'm like, what do I do?
And Heiskanen's not had a great season overall.
So I'm like going in the playoffs, and I got Heiskanen on IR. Do I bring him up and drop Morrissey? I'm in a tight spot. And this is a league that I dominated in all year. And now I'm just like, God, it's just that one little spot right there that I'm in a tight spot. So
I have found that, depending on the type of league, dominating all year is not indicative of your potential. So, I'm finally glad. I'm finally pleased with my placement in peck of the litter this year. Being at 4th, I kind of like that off chance to get in. I've been at 1st or 2nd every year and had a bye, and then losing the first round or the championship.
Right.
But all right, everyone, good luck in your playoff. Hopefully you'll join us next week as you advance. Hopefully Brandon does not advance in 2 of his leagues. 2 of our leagues, I guess. But all right, everyone, we will see you next week.
Peace.
This has been the Fantasy Goons podcast, brought to you by Standing Stone Farms. Listen to the boys every week and join in on the conversation on the 3 majors of social media.